Alright, y'all. It's Brandy619. Hello, universe. Okay, so check it. When you got a client that comes to you and they are not, it's extremely coiled, which means that it has the propensity to become very tangled. When you wash them, you're going to need to comb this out. Period. You're going to need to detangle this before you put any water and shampoo on it.
Mom,
what? No. Stay out of my video.
Mommy, tell him.
Tell him what? What? Exodus? Don't you got some business right there?
My business is telling you.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, somebody want to get popped. Okay, so I already have a little dreadlock right here. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you either going to need to come up in here with an oil or you're going to need to come up in here with some water and some conditioner. I would advise going ahead and pick you up some of this cheap conditioner. They come in different scents. One of my favorites, of course, is the coconut one, and the other one is the strawberry one. I did go ahead and get this raspberry one just because it's a moisturizing conditioner. But these VO5s, they have 5 vitamins and oils, and they also carry a lot of slip. So you're going to need to get yourself a paddle brush, a nice paddle brush. A nice paddle brush or a tangle teaser or something like that. Something of the sort. So you're going to take yourself a water bottle. You're going to fill it up with some warm water. Make sure that you drape a smock or a towel over your client because this is going to get very wet and very messy. Don't ask me where my smock is. I don't know at this current time. So you want to split the hair into 4 quadrants. It's going to make it easier for detangling so you don't have to work with so much hair. Put your head back. Try to be as gentle as possible. I know the hair is tangled and is very coiled, but you have to section it so you can detangle with ease. If they have knots like this, he has a little knot right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. A knot right there. Don't just rip it apart. Really pull it from the ends. Really take your time and pull it from the ends. The ends like this to get the knot out. Not out. Alright? So what you got in your hair?
Nothing right now.
No, you got something in it. What's in it? Gel, conditioner, or something.
Probably like leave-in conditioner.
What kind?
Shea Moisture and like this Cream of Nature styling knot.
Alright, so we got a section here. You should use some clips just because it's easier. If you do use rubber bands, just put it loosely on there one time. When you go to take it off, if the rubber band is tangled, just simply snip it with some scissors. You don't gotta be
too rough.
Exodus. Again, you want to minimize damage, so Don't try to rumble with it. Just snip it loose. Alright, let's get into it. So you gotta generously wet this hair. And I mean generously. By doing so, that's going to make sure that all of the hair is nice and supple. You're going to hold this ponytail, each little section of your hand, and you're going to pull the ends and stretch out those roots. This also is going to help to minimize the amount of knots that you have on the ends as well as remove any shed hairs that have just been sitting there while the hair is in this condition. How long have your hair been like this in this condition?
2 days.
2 days. So it's been like that for 2 days. So he don't slept on it. He don't done everything under the sun for 2 whole days. So once that hair is nice and wet, you're going to want to section these into subsections. So you're going to take that one quadrant and you're going to separate it into subsections. Okay. Again, you're going to come back in here with some more water, making sure that it is soaking wet. Then you're going to take your VO5, remember, with the 5 vitamins and the 5 oils, and you're going to be very generous with it. Okay? You see how watery that is? That's exactly what you want. If you have a conditioner that does not have oils in it already, you want to go ahead and if you have anything like olive oil, you want to go ahead and put some olive oil inside of that conditioner so it can add slip. Then you're going to take this hair in the palm of your hand, holding it between the thumb and the forefinger. You're going to take your large paddle brush or your tangle teaser, and you're going to start to detangle from the ends. Holding the hair tautly so it's not pulling at the client's scalp. I know it sounds like there's a lot of breaking, but it's not. The bristles on this paddle brush are plastic, so they tend to kind of bend if it gets caught inside of a little knot. It will bend instead of just rip the hair out. So, but again, if you have somebody that is not detangling properly, you can get breakage. I don't care what kind of brush you're using. I don't care if you're not using a brush. I don't care if you're finger detangling. You can still get breakage. So he has a little dreadlock right here, which more than likely, yes, it consists of a knot and it also consists of shed hairs. But the slip on that VO5 is going to allow that oil, is going to allow for that knot to loosen up. So see, this is either shed hair, who knows, but this is what was tangled up on those couple pieces of hair. Although we love our coils and our curls, it's not always the best style to wear, because when it comes down to when it's time for you to detangle, you got to deal with knots. And sometimes breakage is just inevitable. But you want to try to minimize the amount of breakage that you do get. So see, now we're gliding through. Now, believe you me, I ain't doing all this brushing and all of this stuff because I just like playing in hair. I don't. I would much rather not be having to do this step. But somebody seems to think that stylists are magicians or some kind of miracle workers or something. So they just come in here with their hair any old way. And they say, hey, can you?
That's what I did?
That's what you did.
Alright.
That's what he asked me to wash, blow dry, and give him a couple braids. Now here I am, okay, detangling a mess. All right. So 1 subsection down.
5 more to go.
7 more to go. So after I get done doing this, I'll hit y'all back and let y'all see what we do next. Of course, after this, we're going to go ahead and wash him up. Then we'll blow dry him out. And then I'll put him a few braids inside of there and send him on his way. But that is how you properly detangle hair when it's totally matted and dry and coiled and tangled and all of that. That is how you do it. You don't want to skip that section. Okay, I mean, you can skip it if you don't mind. You know, if you don't mind, you know, being a chicken and wondering why your hair is not growing. No, the hair is growing, but it's what you're doing to it that is stunting length retention. So that's what we want to try to avoid. We want to retain as much length as we can, and we want to try to keep our ends very healthy as well. So these styles, although they're nice, they're not always the best for natural hair. So anyway, again, I'll be back. Alright, I'm going to do this last section for you on camera so you can see how easy it is with the right products. So he did just bring to my remembrance that last time he came and I took his individual plaits down because we put him some individual plaits in last time. He had about 120 individual plaits in there. So he reminded me that inside of my water bottle, I applied a different conditioner, and I will tell you that conditioner for me absolutely is a staple. That conditioner is the Damage Eraser by Garnier Fructis. It has a slip like no other, man. I promise you. So, and it's only like $5 or something like that at Target, or you can go to Walmart, but I prefer you go to Target. And if it's cheaper at Walmart, Target does price check. Stop, girl. So for all of you guys that be like, "Ooh, Target is so expensive," well, not really, because they'll match the price. Zion, stop. So you just, again, you want to wet the hair liberally with water. You want to add your conditioner of choice. I recommend VO5, any kind of moisturizing conditioner by VO5. Or you can use that Damage Eraser by Garnier Fructis. Stop. You want to take your paddle brush and you want to start smoothing from the ends up. This is going to minimize damage and breakage. When you have a client who comes with their hair completely matted and tangled. He just kicked me, y'all. Look, y'all can't be telling y'all clients, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. Nah, you need to tell them when they wrong. When they come up in here talking about, oh, they just need this. And then they come up in here looking like Celie from The Color Purple. You need to let them know about it, okay? Because they don't realize that this takes a lot of time and a lot of product, okay? And then don't forget, you know, because they're your loyal clients, they're like, oh, stop. Dang. Because they're your loyal clients, they're like, oh, can I get this? Hey, let me just get this real quick. And you're like, all right. So you hit them with a nice little, a nice little quote. You bless them with a nice little price, and they come up in here like this, like, ooh, 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 ooh. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to let them know what time it is, because they be coming up in here playing. You know they do. Anybody that's a stylist know exactly what I'm talking about. He ain't the first. He ain't my first for sure. But see, when I do them like this, that's when they be like, hey, babe. Next time they come, they be like, hey, I didn't do nothing to my hair though. It might be kind of tangled. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's when they come with the real after that. Once you put them on blast, you know. So, but they know I do it out of love. They know because I put in a lot of work on these heads. I put in a lot of work. I put in a lot of love. So I figure, instead of this being a missed opportunity, let me go on ahead and show y'all how to properly do it. You know, if you go to a stylist and you are at a salon and your hair is tangled, and the first thing they want to do is start trying to rake through it with no product, no conditioner, no nothing, you want to get your butt up out that chair. If you go to a salon and the first thing they want to do is take your nappy matted head and put a towel over it and take you over to the shampoo bowl, you want to get up out that chair. Or actually, I don't even mind that. But if they take you to the shampoo bowl and put some shampoo on it without properly detangling it with some kind of conditioner that has some kind of slip, you want to get up out that chair. Because any natural knows that ain't going to do nothing but cause more of a problem on top of a problem.
So what you're going to want to do is get up out that chair.
So what you're going to want to do is get up out that chair. Don't be afraid. Don't think that, because you're there, hey, pay them for the little bit of service. Give them $10 and tell them, nah, I'm going to go on ahead and go somewhere else. Or tell them thank you for your services, but they're no longer needed. Whatever. But don't stay there, because that's only going to be a prelude to a kiss. Okay? And we all know that not all kisses are created equal. Now, y'all know when Judas kissed Christ, so you gotta watch out for them kisses. Alright, so y'all see how nicely detangled that was? This is what I pulled off that little section. Alright? So here we are, nicely detangled. Now we're ready for the shampoo bowl. Now, I do want to tell you guys, this is what we call a pre-poo. Now, sometimes you can do this pre-poo and stitch yourself up under, depending on what kind of conditioner you use and what kind of oils you use. You can take this pre-poo and sit up under a conditioner, open up the cuticle on the hair, and allow for that to penetrate into the hair shaft. If you want to impart oil for shine or for strength or whatever, this is your time to do it as a pre-poo, or you can leave it in overnight and then let it seep into the hair. Make sure you put a bag on so that it can conduct heat underneath there, and it can seep into the hair and into the scalp properly. And then the next day is where you want to go on ahead and do your shampoo. But we're not waiting on next day. We're about to do this right now. So for a whole head, this is what we have. Does it seem like a lot?
No.
I don't think so either. Now, I know some people, you can go some places and you're going to have clumps and clumps and clumps of hair if they don't know what they're doing, okay? So don't forget, on the average you should be shedding at least 200 hairs a day. So he had his hair like that for 2 days. I don't know what it was doing before that. I don't know.
Same thing.
So same thing. So he probably didn't really do a detangle. So it probably kind of been like that for about 4 or 5 days. He just kept wetting it and then just leaving it, wetting it and leaving it, wetting it and leaving it.
Oh, wetting it and styling it.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I styled it. Don't play me.
Well, I bet it is cute. You know, I bet it is cute. You know, when he first does it, but after 2 days of not doing that, not so much. So. He was wetting and styling, wetting and styling, wetting and styling. I think that is him wetting and putting some leave-in, wetting and putting some leave-in, wetting and putting some leave-in. So, again, you lose on the average 100 hairs a day. Depending on when the last time it was that you detangled your hair, that's going to be amount of loose shed hairs that's trapped into those coils, okay, that needs to be removed. So I think that was pretty good for what we got, for what we had going on, and for how many days he hadn't detangled. So anyway, and he probably, okay, so he did do a nice detangle. So that's good. I'm proud of him for that.
Before I did it too, yeah.
All right.
I paid attention.
You see that? He said I paid attention. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That's what you want to hear your clients say. They paid attention. So when they come to you and they sit in your chair, you should not just be taking money from them. You actually should be lacing them on how to take care of their own hair, whether they come to you or not. That's important. Most people don't come to you because most people don't stay coming to you just because you can do hair. You have to add some value to them apart from just them being able to get their hair done. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to give them something that they can use for an eternity. So anyway, that's what I'm about. And anybody that knows me knows that. So after I finish washing him up and blow drying him, I'll probably let you guys see when I.
This is a DJ Davis production.
I'll be back. Always pre-part it and then throw this shining gem right in the middle of your part, and then go back through and clean up your part. It's going to give you very straight and sleek part lines. that, my parts look like garbage. Period. So this is where you're gonna mold you're gonna mold the hair to go in the direction you want it to go in. So you're gonna comb it down. Make sure it's nice and sleek. Then you're also gonna put some shining gel underneath. And you're gonna comb up and smooth. Got it. Then you're gonna just start with the cornrow.
This is a DJ Davis production.
Oh, wait, that's not it.
This is a DJ Davis production.